Okay, this coming Sunday at A Place to Talk, it'll be August the 16th. Today's August the 12th. I'm recording this video on Wednesday. This coming Sunday, August the 16th, will be August 16th, 2026. Just in case the 16th isn't Sunday, I've got it mixed up. I'll tell you it's the August, close to August 16th. That is a Sunday in 2026. We're going to be looking at the red letters in Matthew 5 through 13, where Jesus is talking to this man enters. Jesus goes into Capernaum, this centurion, a Roman centurion, not a Jewish, not a Jew, not a Christian. He comes, he says, Lord, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly. Jesus says, shall I come and see him? Come and heal him? The centurion says, no, Lord, I'm a man of authority. I tell my soldiers to go and they go. I tell them to come, they come. You can tell him to be healed and he'll be healed. Jesus heard this. He was amazed. He says, truly, I tell you, I've not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. Many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast, but the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside. Jesus said, go, let it be done just as you believed. And the servant was healed at that moment. Now that is a fascinating story. This Sunday at A Place to Talk, we're going to be looking more into this thought about insiders and outsiders. This was not a religious Jewish-born person that was making this request. It was a Gentile outsider, a Roman centurion. And Jesus says, he praises his faith, not merely his proximity to religion, right? He was seeing that this man had extreme faith. As we live in this 2026 American world, we have this incredible societal polarities, right? We've got Christians and non-Christians, conservatives and liberals, Republicans, Democrats, immigrants, native-born, Muslims, Christians, rural, urban, woke, MAGA. We got this, this drastic differences in people. We're going to ask three questions this Sunday. The first question is this: what if the person Jesus praised most today wasn't a church-going Christian? This isn't just Jesus saying you have faith, but rather Jesus here said this outsider had more faith than other people Jesus had known or seen in Israel. What if Jesus would praise somebody today that's not a church-going Christian? What would that look like? Second question we'll ask is, who belongs at God's table? Have American Christians become too confident that we know exactly who belongs at God's table? If Jesus described the people sitting at his table in 2026, who might surprise us? Muslims, immigrants, political enemies, LGBTQ people, prisoners, addicts, atheists, refugees, wealthy people, poor people? What would surprise you? The real question is not just who is at the table, but whether our instinct is to invite or exclude. All right, our third question is this, and this is it. This is all the questions we're going to focus on this Sunday. The leprous man that Jesus healed last week, he touched. So in that scenario, in that story, Jesus is taking somebody that we see as needing help, someone that's lower on the totem pole, needing help, and Jesus touches him and includes him and heals him. But this week, Jesus is taking a person that's not a person of religion, not an insider, but he's an outsider. And here Jesus, not like the leper, but Jesus here elevates this person to a position of respect. And he basically says, this man's shows more faith than all of you. I wonder if it bothers us. I mean, it's one thing for Jesus to touch an outsider and heal somebody here, but it's a whole different thing when Jesus looks at this person that's an outsider and elevates him. How does that touch you? How does that make you feel? This past Sunday, we were talking about, Muslims being elected to political power in the United States. One won a primary in Michigan, and we got Mandami as the mayor of New York. And we talked about that. And it was so healthy, I think, to see people struggle with, maybe they couldn't because of all of the junk garbage that had filled their head throughout their life about Muslims. Maybe they couldn't find themselves voting for somebody that was a Muslim. At the same time, recognizing that that's something that's maybe not healthy inside. And so thinking about that from both directions, I thought was very healthy last week. But today, now we're not looking at this outsider as somebody that can be helped, but as somebody that Jesus says had great faith. Interesting. That's what we'll talk about this Sunday at A Place to Talk. Love for you to be a part. Reach out to me any way you want to. I would love to include you in our conversation because we want to be like Jesus, very inclusive, never exclusive. Reach out anyway. Message me on Facebook. Comment here on the YouTube. Maybe tell me, how do you feel? Share in the comments. How do you feel about Muslims in American politics?